Welcome back to Anonymous Diaries. I'm your host, Evelyn. Today, we have a story that really hits home. It's about sacrifice, trust, and the painful moment when the reality you believe in crumbles. We're going to hear from a woman, let's call her Linda, who has been the pillar of her home for years. She thought she was building a future with her husband, only to discover the foundation was a complete lie. It is a tough story, so let's listen carefully to advise her. As always, this story is a recreation to protect the privacy of the real individual involved. Before we listen to our narrator, kindly like the video and click the subscribe button to encourage us to keep posting. Thank you. Now, let's hear her.
My name is Linda, and for 3 years, my life has had one rhythm. It starts before the sun comes up. The sound of my alarm is the first note, a signal that it's time to get ready for the hustle. I work 2 jobs. In the morning, I'm an administrative assistant in a logistics company, and in the evening, I do freelance virtual assistance for clients overseas. My days are long, a blur of spreadsheets, emails, and phone calls. Most nights, I get home so tired that the short walk from the car to my front door feels like climbing a mountain. But for 3 years, I told myself it was worth it. I was doing it for us, for me and my husband, Wale. Wale lost his job in the oil and gas sector 3 years ago. It was a tough blow for him, for us. He was a proud man, and seeing his spirit crushed was painful. So I stepped up. I told him, "Don't worry, my love. I will hold the fort. You just focus on finding something new, something that makes you happy." And that became our reality. I became the breadwinner, the provider, the engine of our home. Every morning, as I rushed to get ready, Wale would be the perfect supportive husband. He'd make my tea just the way I like it, a little bit of milk, no sugar. He would say things like, "Thank you, my love. I don't know what I would do without you. I have 3 interviews lined up this week. I'm sure one of them will click." He would rub my tired shoulders when I got home listening to me complain about my boss or a difficult client. He would show me the well-designed CV he had sent out and the list of companies he was targeting. I believed him. Why wouldn't I? He was my husband. I saw his supposed efforts. I saw his frustration when he would get a rejection email. I would console him, telling him, "Don't give up. The right thing is coming." I gave up buying new clothes for myself so we could pay for the internet he needed for his job search. I stopped going out with my friends because I was either too tired or saving money. Our whole life revolved around me working and him job hunting. My friends would sometimes ask, "Linda, are you sure? 3 years is a long time to be looking for a job." I would defend him fiercely. "You don't understand," I'd say. "The job market is terrible. He's trying his best." The first crack in my belief started small. About 6 months ago, I noticed little changes. Wale, who was supposed to be broke and living off my income, always had a fresh haircut. He started wearing a new perfume that I knew I didn't buy for him. When I asked, he'd have a smooth answer ready. "Oh, the barber gave me a free cut, said I'm a loyal customer." Or, "It was a free sample I got at the mall." They were believable lies, so I pushed my doubts away. I was too tired to argue, too focused on the next bill to pay. Our neighbor, Mrs. Adebayo, is a widow in her late 50s. Her children are all grown up and live abroad. She's a nice, quiet woman, and I always felt a bit sorry for her because she seemed lonely. Wale would sometimes help her with things around her house, carrying her gas cylinder, fixing a leaky tap. I thought it was just him being a good neighbor. He would often say, "I'm just going over to help Mama Adebayo with her generator." I'd just nod, happy that he was getting out of the house. The truth came crashing down on me yesterday. I had been feeling unwell for a couple of days, and my boss insisted I go home early. I was happy for the chance to rest. I got home around 1 p.m., expecting to find Wale on his laptop, typing away at another job application. But the house was silent. He wasn't there. His laptop was closed on the dining table. I figured he had just stepped out to get some air. I took some medicine and laid down, but a strange feeling of unease kept me awake. I decided to start on some of my freelance work early. As I sat at the dining table and opened his laptop to move it, the screen came to life. His email was open. I know I shouldn't have looked, but I couldn't help it. I searched for emails from all the companies he claimed to have applied to. There was nothing. No application sent, no rejection letters, nothing for the past year. My heart started beating fast. Confused and scared, I looked out the living room window, the one that faces Mrs. Adebayo's house, and that's when I saw it. I saw my husband, Wale, walking out of her front door. He wasn't looking stressed or sad, he was laughing. He looked more relaxed and happy than I had seen him in years. Then I saw Mrs. Adebayo hand him a white envelope. He took it, smiled and waved goodbye as he walked back towards our house. I felt frozen. My blood ran cold. It was like watching a movie scene that you can't believe is real. When he walked in, he was still smiling. "My love, you are home early," he said, trying to hug me. I stepped back. My voice was shaking when I spoke. "Where have you been, Wale?" His smile faded. I was just helping Mama Ade. Her DSTV was acting up." "And the envelope?" I asked, my eyes fixed on his eyes. He panicked. I could see it in his eyes. He started to stutter. "It's nothing. She gave me a small thank you for helping." But I knew it was more than that. I pushed him, my voice rising with every ounce of pain and exhaustion from the last 3 years. I told him about the emails, or the lack of them. I asked him why he had been lying to me. And then he broke. He sat down and confessed everything. He told me he gave up looking for a job over 2 years ago. He was tired of the rejections. So he made a deal with Mrs. Adebayo. She was lonely and wanted company. So he would spend his days with her from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday to Friday. They would watch movies, talk, he'd run errands for her, and they'd eat lunch together. He was her paid companion. The envelope I saw, that was his weekly payment. Every lie he had told me came flooding back. The interviews, the networking events, the frustration, it was all a performance. For 3 years, I had been working myself to the bone, sacrificing my health, my happiness, my life to support a man who was living a secret, comfortable life next door. I wasn't his partner. I was his sponsor. My sacrifices went for us. They were the funding for his strange arrangement. He tried to defend himself. He said, "I still love you. It wasn't cheating. There was nothing physical between us. I was just earning money to contribute, but I was too ashamed to tell you how." But I don't see love. I see deep betrayal. My hard work feels like a joke. My trust is shattered into a million tiny pieces. I look at him now, and I don't even know who he is. My heart is so heavy, I can barely breathe. So please, I'm asking, what do I do now? How do I deal with a man who could look me in the eye every single day and lie without hesitation?
Thank you, Linda, for sharing such a painful story with us. First, I want you to know that your sacrifice was not a joke. What you gave wasn't small. You gave your love, time, and support, and none of this mess is your fault. He built his comfort on your hard work, and that's a deep betrayal, no matter what excuses he gives. My advice? Take a step back and give yourself space. Space to think, to breathe, and to separate your feelings from his excuses. He didn't just lie. He made a long-term, calculated decision to deceive you. And this is where I want to bring in our community, all of you listening. This is such a difficult and complex situation. What does Linda do now? Can trust ever be rebuilt after a deception like this? What would you do if you were in her shoes? Please head down to the comment section. Let's offer Ada some support and perspective. Share your advice for her. She's facing a huge decision, and I know our community can provide some thoughtful guidance. Let's show her she's not alone. Thank you so much for watching. Join us again tomorrow for another episode of Anonymous Diaries. Until then, be kind to yourselves. You deserve it.